Shit. Sorry about that, guys. This is in my way. Can you stop it? Again, it's still doing it. Okay, so let's get into it. So, a lot of people are asking why about metal do they follow in Christianity. I got the answer for you guys. Yes, they do. Secretly, yes. I read an article about the band Creator. They're not a devil-worshipping band, guys. I'm sorry. I don't know where people keep getting that theory from. Just because the way their album covers look with demonism doesn't mean that they represent the devil, okay? Let's get this real. The album that they put out in 2012, Phantom Antichrist, was about they were trying to sit there and get the message to people that people are believing in a false religion. The album was basically about Islam, and it was his views towards how people view that religion and how they shouldn't be viewing it. I think he's a Christian, man, because Christians talk a lot about corruption towards Satanism and Islam, and my mom's been talking about the same thing. I even asked my mom, she's a Christian too. I asked her because she's right, there is some metal bands that do worship Christian. Apparently, the singer for Creator got pissed at somebody at a metal show, and Megadeth has done this too. Creator will only tour with certain bands, and I've noticed this. There are only certain bands that actually don't worship the devil. If they're bands that worship the devil, they will tell you to go hit the road. Back in Download Festival last year in UK, something happened I didn't expect to happen. The band Rotting Christ, I hate that band. Ugh. Piece of shit-ass metal, waste of metal, literally. Waste of talent, completely. I agree with Dave Mustaine. That band should not even have formed. They're messing with powers, they don't even know what's really going on. So let's put it this way. Creator and Megadeth and several other bands have stated the same thing. They will not work with demonic bands because of the vibe that they get from them, because they don't view the same things. So, Megadeth was opening for Rotting Christ, obviously. Dave Mustaine was not all for it. I was reading about it in his book. He was talking about how he wanted to move away from that scene because he'd been down that road and he had drug problems. So, he said being around that type of pollution is toxic, and he said he didn't want to tour with them. Not necessarily because of the band, it's because of what they were supporting, what they were representing. I don't represent it either. I don't stand for it. Megadeth used to be a demonic band because Dave Mustaine was going down a kind of a not so great road. He was a kid, man. We all were. I mean, we all do dumb shit when we're young, right? So let's put it this way. Now that he's more mature, a lot of people don't know this about Dave Mustaine, but he was homeless for the longest time, and it wasn't just because of Metallica, it's because he lost everything after his drug problem. He went to rehab, actually found God again, and believe me, I have proof of this. There was a post that was put on Twitter in December of this year, and he was talking, he uploaded an image on Twitter of him. Basically, it was showing what he looked like when he was a kid homeless. And he said, times are tough, accept the Lord into your heart, and basically he said, have faith in the Lord and he'll guide you in the right direction. He said, I was lost, homeless, and I had nothing. He's like, I turned to the Lord and my life has changed since then. Look at him now, dude. Everybody thought that Dave Mustaine was done. He was washed up. Everybody said that he didn't have it no more and that he was going to not come back. Well, he sure proved you guys wrong, because he did come back. He came back with the album in 2004. It was called The System Has Failed. And then he did several other albums after that. He did, to remind you, 4 more albums. Plus they got another album coming out. So, Creator's due for a new album too. Now, it's possibly rumored that Megadeth and Creator are going to be doing Megadeth and Creator are going to be in this touring again because they've toured in the past together in the 80s. So Megadeth opened for Creator back in, I think it was 1987. That concert was nuts. I believe Slayer was on that tour too, I'm not sure, but again, it's like with this band too right here. Everybody thinks this band is demonic, and yeah, yes and no, honestly. I'm gonna say no for the bassist because he's Catholic. Kerry King's not, I wouldn't really call him a devil worshiper. He thinks that religion, he's lost. He doesn't know where he's at. He doesn't know where to stand. And that's the problem. I pray for him. I hope that he finds the right path, because Dave Mustaine has already talked to him about it, and he's like, yeah, and it's like, no, dude, it's not, it's, make your damn choice, dude, because times are getting worse and worse. Now, the media is exposing him and saying that he put on a demonic tattoo. It wasn't demonic. I saw what it looks like. It's a freaking skull with a freaking sword going through it with flames. Oh yeah, so demonic. Ooh. See what I'm talking about, guys? The media makes up propaganda bullshit about everything. I mean, we don't even really know what's real with the government. CNN hasn't been exactly honest for the longest time. Neither is Fox. Can't even trust CBS anymore. It's all about the money. It's all about the power. So, my advice to you guys is, people who do listen to metal, pay attention to lyrics and think about things before you start judging a band, because you don't really know until you listen. You gotta do background checks and actually know. Wasn't quite sure about Creator until I heard what they were about, and I was like, yeah, this band is definitely does not like false religions. I'm serious, man. They're like Megadeth in every way. They will not work with bands that are demonic. I'll tell you that right now. There is two bands, Hatebreed. Hatebreed's not a demonic band either. Cussing in albums doesn't make you freaking devil worshippers, dudes. It just means you need to watch your mouth. So, yeah. And there's a difference from, here's another thing. My friend Aaron made a good point in a video a long time ago about Slayer. If you don't like the music, don't listen to it. Because, honestly, you don't really know what it's about until you do listen to it. And I can tell you right now, dude, Slayer's against evil majorly. Or they wouldn't be writing songs like South of Heaven. South of Heaven was about how corrupt our world is becoming and how chaos needs to how we need to overcome and adapt and stand together. That song was written by Kerry King. I don't know what was going through his mind, dude. I think something happened with him. And he passed, apparently, what happened, the story goes with that was Tom Araya was coming from somewhere, and he ran into Kerry King, and Kerry gave him these lyrics, and he's like, here, take these. He's like, what's this? And he's like, you need to check out these out. So they're in the airport, and he goes and overviews them, and he was like, this is really good. He's like, did you come up with this yourself? He's like, yeah. I don't think Kerry is really like, I think he's partied a lot. Drugs will do bad things to you, man. Look at Ozzy. Ozzy's so confused with all the drugs he's taken, he doesn't know what real religion is. He doesn't think there is a God because he doesn't know. That's the problem with people. People have so much corruption in their life, and there's so many problems in their life, and they hate on everything and they don't see the truth for what it really is. So, anyway, I'm gonna stop ranting, guys. That's my theory. Don't judge metal until you actually until you actually know your facts about it, because you're gonna look really stupid if you're talking about it in front of somebody who actually is a fan of that band. The reason I got into Creator is because I got called out by somebody on Facebook about it. I was sitting there telling fans on Facebook that Creator represents the devil and that they shouldn't be a band, and somebody went off on me and told me, you need to do your background research before you start accusing things. No, they don't represent the devil. Then they told me to go research it, and I did, and they were right. So, It all depends. It also depends on how you live your lifestyle too. Creator is a German band, dude. They drink a lot of beer, man, but they don't party. Not like these bands in America do. You ask Dave Mustaine, dude, they'll tell you right now, there is some crazy crap. The whole book that he wrote that about his life because he doesn't want people to make the same mistakes and go down the same road that they did, okay? They're not just writing these books for fun, guys. They're trying to pass this message along so people don't end up like they did. To remind you, Dave Mustaine's been homeless twice. If I remember right, the singer's name for Creator, his name is Rob, but I'm not sure. The new band I'm getting into, Death Angel, that's another band I need to talk about. People are getting that mixed up too. And I'm going to tell you right now, Death Angel is actually, you put that in reverse psychology, they're actually against the evil. The reason they named their band Angel of Death is because people, when they first started out, people always thought that they were talking about evil, and they're like, dude, you might as well be following the Angel of Death, and they're like, what are you talking about? We have nothing to do with the Angel of Death. They're the same thing as Creator and Slayer. They expose evil and they pass it along, the message along to people. They're not doing it in their views and beliefs. They're doing it. See, this is the way I see it. Every music artist that goes around the world and travel and sees things, they sit there and build that up in what they see, and then they make it into a song, and then they sit there and put all their problems out from other people. Every story comes from somewhere, the way I see it. Death Angel stories come from people's views towards religion. People are so blind. I totally agree with Dylan on this. He's the singer for Death Angel. I believe that's his name. I can't remember, but he said people judge our band because of the name of our. He's like, people. So what he said, if I remember right, he said people judge our band because of the title, what it sounds like. He's like, we didn't put Death Angel as. And by the way, Death Angel is not the same thing as Angel of Death. Okay. They did that so that people wouldn't judge them and wouldn't get copyright, but they still are, because they think that the band actually represents the devil, but they don't. I've already viewed it for myself. They're the same thing as Slayer. They talk about good and evil. They're exposing both sides so people can understand it better, but people don't. People think, I'm a Christian, man, and I could tell you right now, dude, you gotta sit there and know the lyrics. It's not necessarily good or bad that you sit there and listen. I mean, I've listened to some serious demonic shit and I've turned it off quick. It's like, wow, people are just deceitful, dude. Like, the fact that people actually think that this guy is going to save you. Have you lost your mind? Obviously you don't watch enough movies about this guy. He's not going to save you. He's going to tarnish your soul and light it on fire and use it for a frickin' marshmallow. Come on, man. Come on, guys. It's not that hard. And the people who are atheist may as well believe in the devil, because if you can't believe in religion, then... I'm not judging, I'm just saying. I'm not judging people, I'm not calling people out, I'm just saying it's like... Why study it if you don't believe it, you know? Why even... Like, I'll never understand it. It's like some of my family. They read the Bible, but they don't believe in God. Like... Huh? Like, wait, what? Come on, guys. That doesn't work. You're not... My friend Alan's right, and he's a Christian too. We work together, but here's the thing. He made a good point. He said, it's people can read the Bible and have their own views on things, but it's more important to have a relationship with God to understand it better. He's not wrong. I can name 5 metal bands right now that actually read the Bible, and I have proof of this. Slayer, believe it or not. Tom Araya. Dave Lombardo did back in the day. He went down kind of a really not so great path. Believe it or not, Jeff Hannon before he died did. I really hope he went to heaven. I hope he didn't go to hell, because he was a great guitarist. He's one of the nicest people I've ever seen. Off of, like, those guys, you never picture those guys actually being... That's the thing, people were always intimidating them growing up because of the way they wrote their music, but it wasn't, they weren't doing it in a negative way, they weren't trying to influence evil, they were trying to expose evil and get it out there and say, this is what's going on in the world, this is what it needs to stop. So, hope I've made this explainable enough to people, because I'm tired of explaining this. I've had to explain this to 7 or 8 Christians, and they're judging me, and it's like, Real Christians don't judge Christians, dude. That's not Christian-like at all. So, anyway. But I ended up getting in a confrontation with somebody because I misunderstood, because people can't sit there and communicate the proper way. Some guy on Facebook asked me if I was Catholic or Christian, and I said both, because it is the same. Catholic is the same thing as Christian. Okay, there's baptism, and then there's Jehovah's Witnesses. Jehovah's Witnesses believe in something entirely different. They believe in a different way of believing God. Same thing with Mormons. Mormons believe in having two wives. Now, Judaism, they believe in the same thing. They believe that God's going to come back, but they believe it's going to happen in a different time. It's not. There's only one time. There's no rapture. I know this, okay? There's no rapture. It's God coming back for the people who oppose his will and believe and follow in him. Amen. Okay? Now, with that said and that out of the way, let's get into what I really want to do. So I just got some new strains. By the way, I'm going to tell you straight up right now, being a Christian, there's a difference, man. This isn't like, it isn't a sin, dude, unless you make it a sin. If you sit there and think that you have to abuse something like this, then you shouldn't be doing it, because that's not Christian-like. You do it for the enjoyment, but I also do it because it medically helps me. It's like my second medication. I already have two. I'm taking risperidone, Adderall, and Clonidine. This helps me, actually, helps me go to sleep. Problem is, though, I woke up at 1 something, so my dumbass made the mistake of frickin' being stoned earlier tonight and because of it, I didn't wake up properly, so. If you're gonna be smoking, guys, be responsible about it. Don't be stupid. Anyway. Again, learn from my mistakes. But I want to get into this. So, and no, not smoking here. I'm just showing you the strains that I got. Nice try though, guys. I already know the rules. I'm not allowed to do it here, so. Those people who saw my last couple of videos, I'm sorry about that. I was not on the right road. I was, and all the other videos that I've had, I was emotionally depressed. I had a lot of issues. I got out of a relationship with somebody that I thought was actually true to me. I thought would actually do what the other ex couldn't, but she ended up being the same way. Sometimes colors change, right? So, anyway, I hope everybody has a great night, great morning. Sorry, I'm still trying to get used to this shit. But I will talk to you guys later. Take it easy.